Postal family, how's everybody doing? My name is Syed. Welcome back to my channel. What's going on this Wednesday evening? Today I'm going over why so many of the postal employees are leaving, quitting left and right. So, what's the reason behind that? We all know just the details. Go over what's going on with that and why it's becoming a concern to the rest of us. We need all the employees. All the CCAs, every station needs a certain amount of CCAs, but it's just a concerning trend that a lot of people come into this career position like it once used to be, and then just end up leaving. First, if you're new to the channel, my name is Syed. Postal content is what I do. I'm all about postal content. If you like postal content, stuff, news regarding postal content, would love to have you join my channel. Thanks so much, all my supporters. Keep giving the channel the thumbs up. Really helps out everything. First and foremost, everything I say on here is from my views and my experiences, my research. I don't speak on behalf of USPS Post Office. Never do. None of my videos I speak on behalf of USPS. So that's that. And again, thanks so much for all the support you guys give me. Everything in the comments, you know how much I love comments. Thanks so much. Different questions. Hope I answered everybody. I keep updated on that now, so I don't let those comments build up. So each day I knock out those comments. So if you have a general question that you want me to make a video on, just also hit me up in the comments. Let me know. There was a person asking me that any news about the Kerr County, the disastrous flooding over there. God help all of those families there that are affected. Any news about the post office there? Everything seems to be normal. The only thing I've heard is those carriers there are helping out with the families that are hurt. None of the employees or anything like that. Obviously. No news that anybody was hurt as far as postal service. They're just the latest news is those carriers are helping out families in need, whatever their county help they need. So they're stepping up. As far as the post office itself, everything is normal right now. That's what I've heard. As news emerge, I'll let you all know. So anyways, to get to today's topic about why post office is losing employees. Reports indicate the USPS carriers are quitting at high rates, leading to significant staffing shortages and service disruptions. Several factors contribute to this trend. We know all the factors, poor working conditions. Of course, certain buildings like my own didn't have AC for a while. They were getting some repairs done. Some offices, their ACs are out. So extreme heat, long hours, and overwork. Many carriers, especially new pre-carrier employees, city carrier assistants, CCAs, face extremely long work days, often 10 to 14 hours. We all know the drill as CCA, and frequently work 6 or 7 days a week. This leads to burnout and poor work-life balance. There's no balance. You can't balance when you become a carrier. Once you're applying, you should have that in mind that this job is going to consume all your hours. If you're beginning, after you turn regular, then you'll have your own route. You'll have the opportunity not to be on the OT list, so you'll have a set 5-day, schedule. But in the beginning, it's not for everybody. I mean, the tough make it. There's a lot of hardworking CCAs, especially in my district, very hardworking, and I'm sure in every district, But like this thing says, it's not for everybody. People come and leave. So the turnover is basically the people that, they're not cut out for this. They need that work-life balance. So dangerous conditions. Carriers are exposed to hazards like extreme heat. We already talked about. That's what we're in right now. Lost 3 carriers already this summer. Animal attacks, dog attacks all the time. Traffic accidents. A lot of traffic accidents are not, most of the time, the carrier's fault. The old LLVs, the brakes fail or something like that. The tires are bald. Even though the carrier would hit the brake, the tires would get him slipped, and then he or she will run into somebody. So that's not really the carrier's fault. It's the equipment that's given to us, provided to us. Attacks, traffic accidents, slips, trips, falls, leading to high rates of injuries. Yeah, carrier slip in heavy rains, here and there. We're going everywhere. We go to every address, so number of things can happen, Mud in the area, you'll slip when it's rainy. That's why they always preach about the shoes, wear your proper shoes so you don't slip. We all got to watch out for ourselves, but when we are out there working, it's a hard day, it's a hard job. Anything happen, slip an ankle injury. That's what it's talking about. Understanding chronic understaffing creates a vicious cycle where existing employees are overworked, leading to more departures and further exacerbating the staffing crisis. So when station's shorthanded, that pressure, that work has to be done somehow. So they're going to give all that work to people who are not even on the OT list. They can easily say mandate. So then the carriers, whoever is in the station, got to complete those. They'll have splits for you. So that's what that means. Employees are overworked, leading to more departures, outdated infrastructure and training. Some reports suggest that outdated equipment and inadequate training contribute to inefficiencies and errors, leading to disillusionment, so old equipment, probably in the, the distribution centers, well, some of the new distribution centers, but the other ones, they are not all upgraded, and I'm sure they have older equipment. LLVs are really old. Scanners we have new, thank God for that. So low pay and benefits, especially for pre-career employees. Low pay, it's not really low pay, but in comparison to now, 2025, a lot of other places are paying a higher wage. If you can lift packages all day, they go to UPS and FedEx, so they make a lot more. But FedEx, I don't think FedEx does, but starting UPS, you got to stay in the warehouse, I think 2 years or something like that. So pre-career employees who make up a significant portion of the workforce earn less generous benefits and often work irregular schedules, which makes them more likely to leave. There's the burnout again, you're working 6 days, sometimes 7. Back in the day when I started, there was always, you had to ask the supervisor, when are you off? Are you off tomorrow? We kept on working months and months. Then, if you didn't get a break, you would call out just to get a day off, because they wouldn't give you. Sundays was all Amazon. Once you get done at first station, if it's still, lots of day left, they would send you to another station, help out there. So I can see where the burnout comes. Like I said before, it's not for everybody. The tough make it. While the USPS has made efforts to convert more non-career employees into career roles, issues with compensation and benefits for new hires remain a significant factor in turnover. Lack of support and hostile work environment. What that is, in the station, taking too many orders from the higher ups, this and that, do this, do that. So that's, many employees report a blame culture where frontline workers are held responsible for systematic issues beyond their control. So things, even, for example, in your LLV, you run into somebody, you will be charged for that, even though it's not really your fault that LLVs needs repairs. So that's what that is accounting for. There are widespread complaints of poor treatment from management, including a lack of respect, inadequate coaching and feedback, and an authoritarian style of supervision. Employee surveys consistently show low morale and high levels of disengagement, with many experiencing or witnessing toxic work environments. We all know what that is. Morale is long gone. I mean, once you come in the post office, you see the morale. The old timers tell me, they had pride coming to work. There was a lot of morale, but none of that exists now. The environment is, made up as to where we're just numbers on the route. They have a body, they expect you to do the route completely, and if you're not there, the next man up, he or she has a number, just like that. Where it's not, there's no respect, there's no like friendliness, none of that, morale, all that good stuff. Employee surveys consistently show low morale and high levels disengagement, recruitment and retention challenges. Despite efforts to streamline hiring, the USPS struggles to recruit and retain employees, particularly in pre-career positions. So even those the employees, they go through their 2 week training. Once they go on the shadow day, they decide they don't like it, they're out the door. So post office spent 2 weeks, training them, and then once that shadow day comes, they get to see what actually they'll be doing. They decide it's not for them. Job postings may not always include realistic descriptions of the demanding work, leading to high turnover when new hires realize the reality of the job. Exactly what we're talking about. The training, first week you're in the class, you're going through the training, you don't see hands-on what you're going to be doing. So until the next week, when you go into your stations, then shadow day comes. That's when you realize that it's not for you. So the inability to compete effectively with private delivery services like UPS and FedEx on salary for permanent roles also makes it harder to retain new hires. Exactly what we were talking about. If you're a young guy, like say for example, early 20s, you don't mind lifting packages every day, then you'll go to UPS, FedEx. So on salary, permanent roles make it harder. Overall, the combination of demanding physical labor, long and irregular hours, perceived low pay and benefits, and a challenging work environment with a lack of managerial support contributes to a significant number of USPS carriers choosing to quit. This ongoing issue impacts mail delivery, customer service, and the overall stability of the Postal Service. So basically, everything we know that happens, they come in with the training. You got a lot of things that you encounter as a, CCA. You got, like we were talking about, different weather. You got dogs. You can slip and hurt yourself. The LLV has different issues. Well, that's not a thing. If you're in a station that has those newer vehicles, that's lucky for you. But a lot of stations still have those old LLVs, so that's another challenge. If it's written up, something is wrong with it, and then something happens with it, they'll try to blame you on it. That's when you got to get with your shop steward, and they'll put a grievance on that. So then, like exactly what we're saying, the nature of the work-life balance. They see all the working 6-7 days, 12, 14 hours. Family, you don't get to see your family often. So it's not really for everybody. It's just the few, the ones that decide to make it. They work hard. Once you make regular 2.5 years or so, you'll have your own route. But to get to that part, those 2 years are really tough. That's the main thing. But the workers work. The good hard workers that are determined. They have a mindset where they want to be. They take the challenge on. They work hard those 2 years. Some even earlier than that. I've heard stories a year and a half, a year. If the position is available, they will convert you. Article was saying the post office is trying to convert a lot of city carriers to PTFs. As PTF, you have partial, benefits, not all. So they are transferring, they're upgrading all the city carrier assistants to PTFs. So, just like we've been saying, the workers' work, it's not for everybody. That's why all this quitting is going on. And it's competitive nowadays. Other jobs are starting out what post office is 25 to 30, so they decide to leave. But the ones that are here already, that's they've already put some work in few years now, and their career positions with full benefits. Those are the ones that hang in there and make it all they got for their career. So that's it for this one, guys. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Stay cool always, and drink plenty of water. Not Gatorade, water. Gatorade, all that, it tastes good, but you know what's in there, all that sugar and these energy drinks, I'm not a fan of them. Powerade, Gatorade, all that stuff. So once in a while I would drink it, but I concentrate on straight up water, purified water. That's it. So hope everybody's doing good, and guess this is it. We'll see you on the next take. Mailman Syed out.